We discussed static and non-static fields. Let's now take a look at static and non-static methods. Let's refresh our memory about them. When we are writing a static method, there is one constraint that we need to keep in mind. A static method can only access static fields and can only call other static methods. In other words, we cannot access an instance variable inside the static method. We can create an object and then access that object's instance variables, yes. This is something that we do all the time from the main method, for example. But inside a class, we can not access the instance variables, the non-static fields that are declared on the top of the method, for example. We can invoke a static method by using the class name and then the name of the method. We don't need to create an object in order to call a static method. For example, we have many times called methods from the math class, or maybe methods from the wrapper classes, or the arrays class, and so forth. Now, a non-static method can still access static fields and can still call static methods, no problem. But it has some additional flexibility. It can use non-static fields. It can call non-static methods. We can call an instance method from a non-static method, from another instance method, in two ways. We can either call the instance method of an object. For example, we can say t3.describe, where t3 may be, for example, an object of a tree class, and so forth. Or we can just call inside that method another method and just put the name of that method and say describe. When we do that, we still call the method through an object. It is just that the object is implied. We don't have to explicitly write it down. What is the object that is implied? It is this object. In other words, the same object that is calling, that is currently running that non-static method, when we call through that method another instance method, it is that same object's other method that we are invoking. It is the this object's method. We have seen the basic method syntax. Let's now enhance it with the static keyword. So the extended method syntax, all we have done is add an optional static keyword in the beginning of the header. It still has a return type, the method name, the list of parameters, and the body. If we do include the static keyword, then we make that method static, we make that method a class method. Otherwise, we have an instance method, or as it is called, an object method. When we are designing our classes, any instance methods we write can operate on the attributes of the class, on the characteristics of the object. We can do an action on or with the object. When we are writing static methods, those methods usually do, for example, utility work. We want to pre-process, for example, some values before we actually use them in another method, and that pre-processing can happen in a static method. Or, an example we have seen a lot is the main method of a program. This is an example of another static method and what it does.